Hey everybody, welcome to Goots' Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Ray Goots, and I'm here to talk about WrestleMania 11 and all the
Wrestlemania.
WrestleMania season, kind of, with Andrew Lee, bro. And Andrew
Yes,
Lee, bro, how you doing, bro?
I am doing great. Love WrestleMania. Not this one, but I love WrestleMania.
We got a lot to talk about. This was not a good WrestleMania. Vince McMahon and all the wrestlers involved should be ashamed of themselves. But before we get into that, you had big news that came out today, in regards to our favorite company, AEW. Why don't you tell us?
Yes, your very favorite company, AEW, is being sued by Kevin Kelly and the Tate twins, who used to be known as the Boys from Dalton Castle. They are suing AEW for a couple of things, and their lawyer is going to be no other than Stephen P. New, who is Jim Cornette's lawyer, and the lawyer who kind of got into it with Chris Jericho on Twitter a while back about the what is that thing called? The NFTs? Not NFTs. What is that?
NXT?
The thing where the Kylie Ray thing where you can't talk.
NDA, NDA.
NDAs. They talk about NDAs and stuff like that. One of the things that they're suing on is that they should not have been marked as independent contractors but employees, which if Stephen P. New is able to win that one, that's gonna be felt across the board. We're talking it's gonna actually impact TNA, WWE, and MLW, I guess, and so forth and so on. So people are saying chances are he's not gonna win that because of how big it could be, but who
Jim
knows?
Ross, Jim Ross basically said Tony Khan will throw money at it to delay it for years. That's what Jim Ross said on the podcast today, which is,
I think that's true. Yeah.
it's a good thing. Listen, when WWE does these things, they're horrible. But when Tony Khan does these things, it's great because he's a great guy. Because he collected New Japan VHS tapes in the 90s. So that means he's a good person. So, you have to support Tony Khan,
Yeah, yeah. He is a good person.
Everyone, it's so funny, but all the wrestling people who are always anti WWE and pro workers' rights are now like, oh, this lawsuit is stupid and frivolous, and Tony Khan's gonna win, and why does everyone think that he's like Tony Khan's a good person? Like, why do you think billionaires are not good people? Like, these people don't care about you, bro. Like, like
They don't.
it's the
They do
same
not.
the way they treat people. It's the same predatory business practice that Vince McMahon does. It's like just because Vince McMahon act like a dick on camera and pooped on some woman's head and Tony acts nice, they're the same fucking guy. You think that dad became a billionaire because he was like he treat everyone with respect and dignity? No.
No, they didn't. They, in fact, when his company was starting out, they had to lay off a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
There was
So,
a point where they had to,
but
yeah.
the fucking the Tate twins, like I heard a little bit of their story. They had an airport by them. Tony Khan wanted them to like go to another airport super far away. I don't think it was financially feasible for them to go that. Like it's almost like, well, we're just gonna like lose money going to this airport. Why can't we just fly out of this airport?
Mhm.
And then they stopped communicating with them, and they said they no showed. And again, if Vince does stuff like that, like this week, it was revealed Vince cost Damian Priest the role in that fucking
Wakanda,
movie Black
Wakanda
Panther,
forever.
Black Wakanda Forever, and he's a big piece of shit because he inconvenienced the wrestler. But when Tony Khan inconvenienced someone, it's like, well, that's just the way it is, and it's
So
like,
here's the thing with the Tate twins, by the way. Tony Khan brought that upon himself, and I'll tell you why. They're part of the reason what they're suing is defamation. Because they're saying because of what Tony Khan said about them on the podcast, they can't get work. Because he said they no show.
yeah,
Tony Khan opened his stupid fucking mouth in the presser, and that's why they're suing him. If he never fucking opened his mouth and he just said something like, "I can't talk about that right now," like that would it probably we wouldn't be suing him like this. But he's an idiot.
the
He's got a big mouth whenever he feels like he wants to be a big man.
the
That's Tony
interest,
Khan's mouth.
yeah, the interesting thing to me for all this talk about how AEW has saved wrestling and how it kind of seems to me when it comes to wrestlers getting hurt and wrestlers insurance and being taken care of, they have a lot of WWE style practices, and
Mhm.
what you will call it, like, yeah, if this company is so revolutionary, why can't all the wrestlers be employees? I don't understand. So what you're admitting is WWE does have some good ideas. Because that's my thing. This always felt to me like WWE light, like the Burger King to McDonald's, and everyone's acting like it's some Shangri-La, and it's not. It's the same shit, you know.
Who's the Whopper?
Chris Jericho is shaped like a Whopper at this point, so
Oh,
yeah. You know what was
Eddie Kingston's the Burger King.
oh my god, he's too busy at Arby's. You know what? You know what? Today's the 2-year anniversary of in AEW history. It's the CM Punk press conference, and I rewatched it today. And watching Tony Khan's face, knowing everything we know of him now, it's even funnier 2 years later.
Yeah, what a coward. See, can't open his big mouth then, right? Can't open it then when he's scared of somebody.
Dude,
You got to do it when he's a big shot. Yeah, he's a fucking coward.
dude, you know, but the other thing too is like CM Punk handed them. Dude, the storyline could still be going now. They could be building to like CM Punk, Hangman Page 4 at all out on this weekend. He handed them so many fucking. He handed them gold. Like if they all just worked out their issues, he handed them gold, and they didn't fucking take it. And now CM Punk is making so much money feuding with Drew McIntyre over a bracelet. That's how smart this guy is. Did you hear the crowd when Drew McIntyre ripped apart the bracelet on Monday?
No, I didn't. Was it piped in?
No, they were like woo, like they were like like shock noises, and like people were upset. You could hear people upset in the crowd, and it's like, see, that's why CM Punk's such a good wrestling storyteller. He told you this. If you think on the surface a bracelet's fucking stupid, right?
Yeah.
But he took this thing a fan gave him, and I've seen fans give him stuff at the Ringside Fest at Caroline's back in the day. He took something a fan gave him, and he told the audience over and over again, "This is important to me." And then Drew McIntyre told the audience over and over again, "This is important to me." So when it was destroyed on Monday, people reacted like he fucking shit on the world title. You know, that's how good
Why
CM
do
Punk is.
why do people do that, by the way? Why do like fans give like wrestlers stuff they made? Like why do they do that?
Because they're I mean, the real answer is they're pathetic and they have no friends in life. Um, but look, let me just say something. You know how many people are now going to be giving stuff more to wrestlers because CM Punk did this?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be part of the storyline. Finally, I'm gonna be a part of wrestling. It's so
No,
stupid. Like, why would there isn't a single celebrity that I can think of where I want to make something for them. Like, there isn't a single celebrity.
but I found the girl on Twitter and I saw she does look like a lonely girl who watches wrestling. And
Oh,
Drew
wow.
McIntyre wrote her on Twitter, "Your blood is on his blood is on your hands. This is all your fault." Like he
That
wrote her. Like it's
he's
but it like
probably making her whole week though. He
dude, he
probably
probably made her whole life. He
yeah,
probably made her whole
her whole life. Yeah.
But like, if you think about it, we're like making fun of these people. But what Punk, this is what Punk does, and this is what AEW could have done. What Punk does is he took something that most of us think is stupid and he gave it
Yes.
importance, and that probably is going to embolden a lot of people to create things. And it's like that's the power of someone who's this good at wrestling, and they just fucking squandered it, man. They just fucking squandered it. Have
Speaking
you
of
rewatched that press
squander,
conference lately?
what?
Have you
No,
rewatched?
no, when it happened, dude, I watched it like once a week. I enjoyed it so
You
much,
should watch it. You should watch today's Celebrate. It's really
I like I still like can picture Tony Khan's face. Like when Punk starts speaking, you see like Tony Khan like close his eyes, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, right? Like you could see him like closing his eyes almost like as if like he wish he could disappear. Like he's anticipating, like he already knows what's happening.
it's
He's such
it's
a
the
coward.
it's the
Money
moment you
can't buy
realize he's not built for this. He's not built.
yeah, he's not. Yeah, exactly. That's when he realized he wasn't built for it. Money can't buy some stuff. Um, but
He
anyway,
can't buy a good WrestleMania 11. That's what he can't buy.
yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I might have watched that press conference multiple times. I only want to watch this WrestleMania 11 once. I'll tell you that right now. The only want to watch it once. WrestleMania 11 took place April 2nd, 1995, in Hartford, Connecticut, right in Junior's backyard. 16,305 people were in attendance. The pay per view buys were 340,000 buys. WrestleMania 10, the one right before, had about 18, a little over 18,000 people. Pay-per-view buys were 420,000
Wow, this went down
buys.
even with Lawrence Taylor. That's crazy.
It did go down, and in WrestleMania 12, which will be next year's WrestleMania, the attendance is over 1,800, but the pay-per-view buys is 290,000. So you see a trend. It keeps going down every year. It went down from 10 to 11, 11 to 12. It's pay-per-view buys are dwindling at this point. So you were right. This is the low period of WWF. What's happening here right now? He's already beaten the trial, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't believe in any of these guys. And you can tell he doesn't believe in anyone because the opening package that goes over the last 10 WrestleManias is just the celebrities. The only two wrestlers you see are Andre and Roddy Piper. And
Very true. Yes.
you can argue those two guys are movie stars.
The opening graphic is like featuring the celebrities who are attending WrestleMania and not the wrestlers. And
Not the
it's like
wrestlers.
it's Pamela Anderson, it's Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement, Jenny McCarthy. I mean, they got the wrestlers there with the stars. Like
But when they
you
do
got
the countdown of 1, 2, 3, they just show you the celebrities. They don't show you like the matches or the moments.
yeah, I mean, but I'm saying they show you the wrestlers, but they're just hanging around with the celebrities. Like Nick Totoro from NYPD Blue, he's like checking Undertaker's pulse. He's like, I guess he's dead, right? Salt and Pepper rubbing up and down
That was
Bret
the
the
best one. That made Bret Hart look. That was the only one that got the wrestler over.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone
The
else is
rub
like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right. He does not believe in any of these people. They don't name a single superstar. They just name the
No.
celebrities there.
And this is like, and I hope the new regime doesn't do this anymore. I don't think they do.
The
Would you
new
watch?
regime, yeah. Go ahead.
He tries to, if you leave the company, he tries to erase you or not show you. When you don't show me Hulk Hogan and you're showing the first 9 WrestleManias, all you're doing is making me think of Hulk Hogan. You're not getting him out of my memory because you're not showing anyone because you lost everyone that's important. They've all abandoned you. And that's why you have to show fucking Joan Rivers.
Oh, Rivers. Yeah. Um, we have Vince McMahon welcomes us, and his audio is actually late introducing the national anthem singer. Some audio problems, and it's actually Special Olympian Kathy Huey who gives like an opera rendition of the national anthem. I mean, America the Beautiful. It was actually originally supposed to be the band Fishbone. Do you know Fishbone?
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, they suck. They were on SNL, but they pretty much suck.
It was better that they had this.
Do you know why they switched it?
I think this is kind of like more inspirational, and it kind of highlights the fact that they do charity work. And
Okay,
I
it is,
if you
but
can't get like a big name to do it, like I always I also like the fact they use the Harlem Boys Choir at WrestleMania 20. I like that you do like these groups that are like representative people who are like not repressed, but what do you want to call it? What do we call it? Minorities or something? Yeah.
yeah. Well, Fishbone is a minority. I mean, they're a black ska band, but there's even if you look for it online, you can actually find like a video of them hyping up the song that they're going to be at WrestleMania. And what happened was they were cast, and then Vince heard their version of America the Beautiful, and he was like, "No, no, absolutely not." So
And who made that choice? That has to be like a Bruce Pritchard pick or something.
yeah, yeah, because if you know Fishbone's music, it's like a mixture of like ska and like punk, but it's got the edge of like a little bit of that, like like street edge to it, right? It's really not that good. I don't think their music is ever that good.
It's
That's why I
hard.
never bring it up. Yeah, but anyways, they were gonna do an America the Beautiful version, like a version of that,
Mhm.
and supposedly Vince heard it, and Junior was like, no, but Fishbone, they said that they did get paid still. They still got their money. They still got their money. They
That's the
just
good
did.
thing about Vinnie Mac is that even if he fucks you at the last moment, he still sends you a check.
Yeah, yeah. So you got Jerry Lawler joining Vince McMahon Jr. to welcome us, and we're gonna go right into our opening match It is the British Bulldog and Lex Luger, tag team known as the Allied Powers, versus the Blues Brothers. This is Jacob and Eli Blue with Uncle Zebekiah, who
The
is
Hitler connection.
Zeb Coulter. They all four start fighting in the beginning, and then eventually leads to Davey Boy Smith and one of the Blues starting off. Davey gets worked on a bit, and then Lex Luger tags in, and then a distracted Lex Luger, he does not realize that the twins, remember the Blues twins, they're twins, and they changed places. So he didn't see that. And you know what? Usually when the twins change place in wrestling, why do they do that, Ray?
For an advantage.
For an advantage, yeah, because like Lex Luger would not know that the one who's laying down is not hurt, right? But you know what it does here? Absolutely nothing, because Davey Boy Smith sunset flips over for the cover for the win. Right after that switcheroo, it was the stupidest thing ever.
So this is where we get. This is start of the problems. Is that
Yeah.
you have four guys that are main eventers, and
Wait, four guys main eventers.
I'm not talking about the Blues Brothers. I'm talking about Lex, Davey Boy, Owen, and Yokozuna, right? And you've shoved them all in the tag division.
Oh, okay.
Basically, have told us, I give up on Lex and British Bulldog. They're going to be in this stupid fucking tag team. And Lex in a marquee match in 19... I mean, if you build, let's say, I don't know, you build an issue, or even Tatanka. Let's say, you know what? We're going to finish the feud in a steel cage match.
Finish it at WrestleMania, yes.
We're going to finish it at WrestleMania. We're going to have a strap match, which is great. We're going to have a Yahoo McDaniels on a pole match. We're going to have a Miss Elizabeth will blow the winner match. We're going to have something, right? You can draw money with that because Lex is still a fucking ape. And as evidenced by what's going to happen at the end, he can still fucking go and people still like him. But you shoved him in this meaningless tag team match. He never really got revenge on Tatanka in a way that could have made the company money. Tatanka's standing outside like a fucking doofus. Look, I think Tatanka stinks at this point in his career. But my point is, you had a hot angle at SummerSlam. Why not fucking finish it here? He can still draw. You've just given up on him. Same thing with Owen. Why not have Owen involved in something with Bret? Right? Let's draw some money. Instead, he's fucking having both shitty matches. And the British Bulldog's another guy. He's another guy that's over. Why not have British Bulldog and fucking, I don't know, Kama Mustafa have a match? Build an angle with them. Or maybe British Bulldog's the tag partner, Lawrence Taylor. These are guys that are over, and they're doing nothing. You've just given up. And you have nothing in the chamber. You've given up on fucking Lex Luger. The fucking guy was still in the show in every WCW show 5 years ago. You just fucking gave up on him.
My God, I love Yahoo McDaniels.
Did I say Yahoo?
I love that. Yahoo McDaniels.
It is on a pole. He's just on a pole and like.
So after this match, Jim Ross.
Poor Jim Ross. He's finally, but he was fired twice in '94. Poor Jim Ross is back and they make him look like a fuck. Another guy, you just make this guy look like a fucking idiot.
And here's the thing: he's in the aisle, and he's trying to interview people as they're leaving. He's trying to interview Uncle Zebekiah in the fucking dark. There's no spotlight on them. You can barely see them. Zeb can barely see the microphone, so you can't even hear what he's saying. They are having so many technical issues with the audio being all messed up and this spotlight thing. I felt like I was watching like WCW. It was like things that you would never really ever see in WWF. We're having all these technical problems. It's just all over the place.
They've been having technical problems since Hogan left.
Sorry,
I'm raging. They've been having what was Hogan in the truck in the 80s? What is going on with this company?
Yeah. It's like it's flipped. It's like they're now WCW. It's ridiculous how much they've changed in like 10 years.
And it's crazy to me how since 8 he's ruined the brand name WrestleMania. Because I was home this night. I remember I told you I saw the news, Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam.
Yeah.
And no one I knew gave a shit about this show. And we were all, how old am I? I just turned 14 back then. We're in New York Giants country. and none of us gave a shit about this fucking event. It meant nothing. And the other thing I want you to think about when you think about like how he has no faith in anyone on this show. WrestleMania, who's in the poster of WrestleMania 5?
Um, is it Sergeant? No, it's
No, it's
not
Macho
Sergeant.
Man and Hulk Hogan. 6 is Warrior and Hogan. 7
Oh,
is
okay.
Hogan and Slaughter. 8
Yeah.
is Sid and Hogan. 9 is a picture of Bret Hart. 10, nobody. 11, nobody. He just has nothing. And it shows.
Yeah. Nobody's the marquee, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. All right. You know who is the marquee? Nick Totoro from NYPD Blue, because he's all over the show,
Yeah.
honestly.
The
He
most I've
is
ever seen
in
this
and
guy.
out. Yeah. His brother is my favorite actor, by the way. Nick Totoro, he is in the heel locker room. And once again, they're having microphone problems because he's trying to speak and nobody can hear him. He's with Jenny McCarthy, and they just, because there's no audio, they just give up on it. And
What a
then
waste. I'm sorry. What a waste. She had such a great personality back then. What a
she was
waste
so
of
hot
her.
too. She was so hot.
She was so hot. And like the fact that you got Pamela and Jenny McCartney. I bought my first Playboy and my parents said it was okay to buy it. It was an issue with both of them in it. And
There
fucking
was an issue of Playboy with both Jenny McCarthy and Pamela Anderson.
it was like a bet. It was like a retrospective of both of them. They weren't together. It was separate photos.
Okay.
But those photos were unbelievable. But they were so hot. My parents were like, yeah, you can buy it. Like I'm like fucking 16. They're like, yes, buy it. That's how fucking killer this issue was. And but the thing I like about Jenny McCarthy, I was more a Jenny McCarthy guy back then than Pamela Anderson. Now I'm more Pamela Anderson because she's a little bit more normal. She had a great personality, and they do nothing to show.
No, they don't. They do nothing to show it. I don't think he knew who Jenny McCartney was.
I just think he knew they were. I just think he knew that there were two blondes he jerked off to before he jerked off to his daughter's photos.
Yeah. By the way, they show when they cut away from this, they have to like kill some time, so they just show you shots of the fans, and one fan has a sign that says King Kong Dumbo, which I don't really get, and there was another fan who just had a sign that said blood, just blood on it. I thought that was so funny. Um, Anyways, we got Razor Ramon and we got 123 Kid in the bag, and they're still having audio issues. So 123 Kid's cutting a promo, but I only heard like half of it. We're gonna go to our second match. It is for the Intercontinental title. Jeff Jarrett, the champion, with Rhodey, who will go on to be Road Dogg, versus Razor Ramon with the 123 Kid, who's kind of dressed up like a Chinese ninja. Uh, Razor Ramon attacks Jeff Jarrett right away, and then the fireworks go off afterwards. Rhodey helps Jeff escape the Razor's Edge, but 123 Kid keeps them from leaving the ring and sends them back to the ring. Rhodey keeps getting involved, but Razor Ramon just takes him out. And then 123 Kid, what he does is he tries to crotch Jeff Jarrett on the post, but Jeff Jarrett just kicks him away and he eats the rail. And then Razor reverses a figure four, but he has to break it up when 123 Kid is caught like helping him cheat. So Kid's acting a little heel here. He's already turning a little bit. Razor Ramon, he goes for the Razor's Edge once again, but the Roadie comes into the ring and clips him for a DQ win for Razor. 123 Kid comes in and attacks both of them, but Jeff Jarrett is able to overcome him and put the figure four on him. And then Razor Ramon breaks it up. And while he's doing that, he busts up Jeff Jarrett's nose. And afterwards, Jim Ross is interviewing a bloody Jeff Jarrett who says, Razor Ramon is nothing. He's finished. What did you think about this intercontinental match?
It just felt like a giant waste of time, to be
It
honest with you.
was. It was a giant waste.
It doesn't get Jeff Jarrett over. It doesn't get Razor Ramon over. It doesn't get the Roadie over. It doesn't get 123 Kid over. It makes Razor kind of look like a cheater and a fucking loser when
Mm-hmm.
he should be. You had Razor Ramon. No wonder these guys go to WCW. You had Razor Ramon looking like the man at the end of 10. And you do nothing to follow it up the whole year. And now you're at WrestleMania 11. You would think at the end of 10, you'd be like, hey, next year we should give Razor Ramon a big match. Instead, this feels like the old WCW shows where it's like, we need a match that's going to kill 20 minutes so we can get the fuck out of here. that's what this match feels like. It doesn't get anyone over. I would have liked a finish. I would have even if Jeff Jarrett cheats to pin Razor, at least it's a finish. And the fact that they don't even do that, it's just a waste of fucking time to me.
Yeah, it's like they just want this feud to continue. So this at WrestleMania is not where it's going to culminate. It's just going to be like another part of the episode, which is stupid.
The other thing about a lot of these matches, and the exception for the rule is later on, is when we get a lot of these. Everyone's treating it like I almost feel like they're treating it like a house show. Like they're not treating it like this is the biggest show of the year, and people are
Yeah,
going.
that's what I'm saying. It's like the matches shouldn't be. This is where it should be culminating.
But even the
Right?
way people are working, they're not like trying to
Yeah.
like put on a show. They're like just killing time.
Yeah. So we go back to Nick Totoro. They finally fixed the audio issues. He's in the heel dressing room and he's like, "Hey, Pamela Anderson's not here, but I got Jenny McCartney here." And then he shows Jenny McCartney, and then Kama tries to hit on her, and she makes a gross face, which is the only time she's going to show any kind of personality. By the way, right? That's the only time she's going to show any kind of personality. I know. Shawn Michaels and Sid join in, and Sid starts yelling that Diesel's dreams are going to become nightmares. And then that's about it for that segment. We're going to go to our next match. And there's a little bit of history in our next match. And we get a recap of the IRS stealing the Undertaker's urn. And Todd Pettingale, he is with Neil Anderson, who is a former Chicago Bears NFL player. And he asks about LT before this match. And I guess he just basically says nothing. I shouldn't have even wrote that down. Anyways, before this match begins, Junior mentioned that Undertaker is undefeated at WrestleMania. He mentions it here. This is the first time I've heard
First time, yeah. And you know, it's funny because they try to claim that no one mentions it until WrestleMania 18, but Vince McMahon already said it. I think he already was planning something.
Yeah. Why would he mention it if it didn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go to match number 3. It is King Kong Bundy with Ted DiBiase versus Undertaker with Paul Bearer. Special guest referee is Larry Young, who is a Major League Baseball player, umpire. But there is an umpire lockout right now in Major League Baseball. That's why he's here doing this. We got to make some money, man.
Bruce Pritchard has a great story about this match that this guy wanted to shove Undertaker to the ground, and Undertaker was like, no. And the guy was like, but that's my spot. That's what I do. That's like my gimmick. And like finally, like Bruce Pritchard, Undertaker was like, if you try to shove me, I will fucking hurt you on live TV. And the Bruce Pritchard, Vince had to say to him, this is not a game. Just fucking don't fuck with you can't also like Undertaker can't react to it because of his character. So he's gonna have to hurt
you. Who this fucking Larry Young guy is? He wanted to be the star. That's so funny.
He wanted to shove both guys to the ground and like yell at them. And Undertaker's like, you can't. No, I'm not. You touch me, it's gonna like.
Oh my God!
Over for you on live TV. I'm gonna end your career.
Ridiculous. That guy's ridiculous. Anyways, before this match begins, DiBiase drops the urn. Before he just drops it.
DiBiase looked so overwhelmed, by the way, tonight.
He dropped it like by their feet. They could have just picked it up.
DiBiase looks like he looks so he's not good as like this as the Bobby Heenan. Because they clearly he's now supposed to be the Bobby. He's not good at it at all.
No, he's not. You're right. He's not good at it. He just like he was a good wrestler, but he just never was a good manager. He was never a good commentator. He's not a good trainer. He's just good at one thing. That's it. You know,
he's good at getting himself over.
Yeah, he's good getting himself over. Not like you know how they said like not. They tried him as a trainer and they found out he was a really bad trainer.
Yeah, I remember that. Bruce Pritchard said that.
Yeah, and they were like, he was saying like some guys are just good at one thing, and that's okay. But he just isn't built for anything.
I feel like he got a lot better at it though. In NXT when he got over Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. I think he finally got it like at the very end of his fucking remember they brought him in for Cameron Grimes LA Knight feud?
Mm-hmm.
He got over Cameron Grimes, and the way they thanked him was they fired Cameron Grimes.
I know. I totally forgot about Cameron Grimes. I forgot he even existed. So, why didn't AEW pick him up? They should have.
I don't know. That's weird.
That is
Every
weird,
time
right?
Tony doesn't pick someone up, I'm like, they must have like some sinister secret that like Jared.
That's such a weird one. Yeah, I feel like he's such an easy pick to pick up,
He's
you
a
know?
he's dude. Yeah, over the Eminem fucking modeling.
Wait, I don't even know if he's actually wrestling anymore.
No, he is. He's on some indies.
Oh, he
He
is.
might
Okay.
also, I think he took it really to heart. I think he got really upset by it. Maybe he is like, Tony Khan can't hire you. You're not trying to be hired.
Yeah, I mean, he's not showing up on like TNA. He's just
He's
like
kind of just maybe he has like a maybe he's depressed because he's like, I really got myself over and they just
he's
fired.
still wrestling. You're right. He's still taking bookings and he's actually wrestling regularly. Like he had just last month, he had matches like he had one, two, three, four, five, 6 matches last month.
Maybe you know what? Maybe he's figuring. Maybe he wants to reinvent himself before he goes to AEW.
Maybe
Maybe he's
you're
thinking
probably
of a.
right.
That's what I would do. It's like maybe he wants to pull a Drew McIntyre where he comes back a different person.
His 90 days should be up by now.
Yeah, that's why he's wrestling. But I'm just saying that like maybe he doesn't want to rush to AEW. He probably also sees that they're not gonna fuck. What is he gonna do at AEW? He's gonna be on Rampage, fighting fucking Kyle Fletcher. So maybe he's like, let me try to reinvent myself where no one can see me, and then I can show up in AEW or I can show up back in WWE. Because right
Yeah.
now Tony Khan's not going to do anything with it. Like he'll sign him because he's an action figure, but Tony Khan's probably going to have him like on Ring of Honor, and like you might as if no one's going to see you, they might as well just not see you at an indie where you can do whatever the fuck you want.
He should go to a Tony Khan and be like, I have a great gimmick idea, Tony. Yahoo McDaniel. Call me Yahoo McDaniel. Anyways,
Taco Mitsubishi.
um, so in this match, Undertaker avoids an early attack, and then he hits an old school on King Kong Bundy. But then when Taker gets sent outside, what he does is he takes the urn from DiBiase, and then he gives it to Paul Bear, who opens it up and does the whole flashlight thing. And then Taker hooks up and he starts no-selling in the ring. But then DiBiase calls out Kama, and Kama comes in and he takes the urn back. And with that, Junior says, uh, I know Kama takes the urn and then he's leaving. Jim Ross tries to interview Kama while he's leaving with the urn. And Kama goes, I'm going to melt this down. I'm going to turn it into some chains. And I totally forgot they did this. I
They do
remember
that.
that. Yeah, I totally remember they did this.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing that gets me about this fucking angle. Khan Mustafa comes out later for the main event. Why didn't Undertaker fucking go after him and be like, "Where's my fucking urn? You fucking
Yeah.
Undertaker. We gotta catch. We gotta. I know he stole the urn, but we gotta catch the plane. We have to leave."
Yeah, it's so stupid. So then what happens though? Now that Kama took the urn, Undertaker starts getting beaten up. He just starts getting beaten up.
Hey, so what Undertaker or the other guy? What's going on with that match?
King Kong Bundy. Well, it was over. What did you think?
The match.
Yeah,
I
King
thought
Kong
it
Bundy.
sucked. I thought it sucked.
Yeah.
The other thing, King Kong Bundy gets right up and just walks to the back, doesn't even sell the fact that he lost to the Undertaker. I thought this was Undertaker's worst fucking WrestleMania match so far. And we fought to fight Giant Gonzalez in 1993. So I thought it sucked.
This was like a TV match.
They had no chemistry.
It was like just done to set up him and Kama, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was not a good WrestleMania match. This was not it should have been like Superstars or something. Anyways, moving right along, Nick Totoro, he is now by Pamela Anderson dressing room. And he says, hey, word on the street is, Vince, that her and Shawn Michaels, they got in a fight and she left. And I don't know where she is. I'm going to go ask around. So he starts asking Mongo, Steve McMichael Mongo. And he goes, do you know where Pamela Anderson? He goes, no, but I'm looking for Kama. You know who else is looking for Kama? Undertaker. No, not really. Undertaker is not looking for Kama. Mongo is. Then they got Reggie White, the late great Reggie White. He says he's looking for King Kong Bundy. Then you got Carl Banks. He wants Chris. He wants Volkov, and Chris Spielman calls Tatanka a cigar Indian. So leave it to the one white guy to make it racist. All of that.
Hey, listen, you need some racism. It's WWE. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. I just thought it was funny. It was like the one white guy in that group has to say something racist. So funny. Um, then Nick Totoro, one of my favorite moments, he sees Bob Backlund playing chess with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And Nick Totoro starts asking him, how can you guys be playing chess at a time like this? And he starts asking questions, and Bob Backlund looks at him and he's mad. He's mad that he's getting disturbed like this. And he goes like, well, how can you disturb me like this? And then Nick's like, you know where Pamela Anderson? And he goes, who? Who's Pamela Anderson? And then because of this, he loses to Jonathan Taylor Thomas and he gets all mad and he goes, that's what's wrong with you young people. You disrespect your elders. And he starts quizzing Jonathan Taylor Thomas and asking him all these questions. He gets them all right. So then he gets mad and he goes, you young people, that's what your problem with you guys. You guys think you know everything. And he leaves. Me personally, I love this gimmick. This, like, he's a boomer. They're doing a boomer gimmick in 1995. It's fantastic, dude. I loved it.
I don't know. I feel all these sketches are like a waste of time at WrestleMania. I don't know.
If they had brought in Bob Backlund with this gimmick to begin with, I think it would have been great. Just like it would work now.
Yeah.
If they had a wrestler right now, like who's an old wrestler? If Billy Gunn,
Bret Hart could be a boomer.
Bret Hart, yeah, if Bret Hart did a boomer gimmick or something, it would just be so funny. I just think it'd be hilarious. Anyways, we got Owen Hart. He comes out and he's ready to make an announcement. And while he's talking, Vince McMahon of all people is like talking over him, and Jerry Lawler has to like go like, I can't hear Owen. I was like, what the fuck is Vince McMahon doing? He's like breaking his own cardinal rules. He's like talking over Owens. You missed like half his announcement. It's fucking. Anyways,
everything was so off on this Mania.
Yeah, everything is off. Even Junior is not even trying. He's like not even doing it felt like a WrestleMania. Just like let's just get this over with.
Yeah, it's like it just felt like all we have that we think is this Lawrence Taylor thing, and like that's not even that good. So let's just get in and get out.
Yeah. By the way, I love your shirt, the Dr. Isaac Yankem shirt.
Isaac Yankem, brother.
Where'd you get that? That's a fantastic shirt.
A WWE shop back when it was good.
Wow. Yeah, that's a fantastic shirt. Damn, that's a good shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of the best shirts you ever wore.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. What do you call it? Anyway, Owen Hart is basically out there to announce his tag team partner for this match, and it is a returning Yokozuna, who's got a beard now, and he comes out with his crew of Jim Cornette and Fuji. Owen Hart hugs Yokozuna, and then they go to the Guns in the back, and Billy Gunn says that, you know what, we're not, even though it's Yokozuna, we're going to still be the champions. And then Bart Gunn has to speak, and Bart showed me in that moment that he didn't have it at all. And this is why Billy Gunn went on to be him and Bart did nothing. He had nothing. His promo skills were just awful. Anyways, we're going to go to fourth match. This is for the tag titles. Owen Hart and Yokozuna versus the champions, the Smoking Guns. Billy and Owen Hart, they star, and basically Owen Hart's going to work most of this match. Yokozuna is super out of shape. The Guns, they do have some great tag team moves. Billy Gunn jumps he gets a lot of hops in there. He jumps really high. But one leg drop on Yokozuna just changes everything. And the heels have the advantage, and then Owen Hart goes up for a top rope missile drop kick. But he hits Yokozuna by accident instead, and then the Guns start rallying, but they're stopped when Owen Hart pulls the ropes when Bart Gunn is running the ropes. So he falls outside, and then Yokozuna belly-to-belly suplexes Billy Gunn, and then does the bonsai drop on Billy Gunn. But Bart makes a save. The match is still not over. But then Owen Hart is in there with Billy Gunn, and this is my favorite. This was the best part of this match. Billy Gunn just took a bonsai drop. So Owen Hart pulls him into the center, and he's about to give him the sharpshooter when he realizes, I don't have to. This guy just took a bonsai drop. So he just covers Billy Gunn for the win, and they win the tag titles. So this was a short match, but so far this is the best match I've seen on the show so far.
Oh, really? I didn't really care for it. It just like
it just felt like a forego. Once Yokozuna's out, it's just like I don't know. I didn't really care for it because like there's no. I know they're gonna win because Yokozuna's on the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I would have. I would have. This would have been a great match. I know they only have an hour right now on Raw. This would have been a great match for the Raw after Mania, like to set up Owen's new character arc. Like I'm gonna go after the tag belts, and I would have done Owen Brett 2 or 3. I'm sorry, 3 on this show. That's what I would have done.
yeah, maybe ended for good here.
Yeah, and then he brings in Yokozuna for the tag belts. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't know. It's another match to me that felt like a house show match.
yeah. I just like the ending, I guess. That the
Oh no, the
ending.
ending is classic Owen.
Yeah. So, by the way, after this match, Junior sees the blimp in the arena for the first time, um, for some reason, and then he's like, "Oh, it's a blimp in here. What is that? Oh, it's a blimp!" And he starts giving us a sky shot. I thought that was kind of ridiculous. Todd Pettengill,
Oh, there's going to be a lot of blimps on a lot of shows in the next few years.
yeah, Todd
Yeah.
Pettengill, he is with Bam Bam Bigelow, and they're talking about the issues he has with LT and how he goes, "The $1 million team has my back." And he's not worried about the all pro team that's going to be backing up Lawrence Taylor. And then we're going back to Junior and Jerry Lawler at the booth. And as they're reviewing what's going to happen in the main event, we do see Superfan Vlad in the background. Did you see him? That's the only time
Oh yeah,
they
it's
got.
only a short car ride for him.
Yeah, and here's the thing though: the reason why we don't see him a lot is because he did not get front row seats in this one. You could tell he did.
Damn, the
Yeah,
one
no,
event he needed them.
he's like in the third row or something like that.
Damn, he's like
So we're
this
gonna go
is
to
so glad like.
Yeah, I guess he just that money he just didn't that year he didn't make enough money, I guess. I don't know. We're gonna go to match number 5. It is a submission I quit match with special guest referee, your favorite, Roddy Piper.
I mean,
It
he
is
was my favorite until 1989. So.
it's Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart. And let me tell you something. Piper is so fucking annoying in this match.
He ruins this match.
He ruins
He
this match.
ruins this match. Bret Hart has said this is his least favorite WrestleMania match. I can see. Roddy Piper he's like Sherry. Like last week, how Sherry's just constantly in the way. Like you're in the way of me. He's constantly in the way of this match, even being remotely watchable.
And there's the thing. This match, by all means, it actually could be a good match, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're both submissions experts, but like, just Roddy ruins it. One thing that I found interesting is they do show the German commentators during this match, and one of them, his name is Gunther. So I was like, oh shit,
Oh,
Gunther.
maybe that's his kayfabe father, brother.
Yeah, maybe it is. So this is how bad Roddy Piper is at this match. So there's a submission match, and you have to say I quit. So Roddy Piper has his microphone. He has to ask people if they're quitting. There's a point where he asks Bret if he wants to quit when Bret is the one applying the hold on Bob Baclund. And Jerry Lawler calls him an idiot. He goes, he was like, did he just ask Bret? He's an idiot, right? I was like, Roddy, you fucking idiot. Basically, Bret reverses the chicken wing. And he never says I quit. But he reversed the chicken wing on Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund never says I quit on the microphone, but then Roddy Piper just calls it. He goes, "Oh, he said it's over." After this match, Bret looks so fucking annoyed. Like he looks. I've never seen him look annoyed after a match like this match. He looked really annoyed.
Because the match sucks. It's WrestleMania. I know that he probably wants to steal the show. He knows that his fucking arch enemy, Shawn Michaels, is about to steal the show. And it's like, you give me nothing to work with. You're giving me nothing to work with.
After this match, Jim Ross tries to interview Bob Backlund, but Bob Backlund's like looking around. He's looks deranged, and he goes, "Do you see the lights? Do you see the lights?" So it looks like Bob Backlund's going to be going into a new character, I guess. After this, this was horrendous.
This was probably the worst Bret Hart match we've seen on pay-per-view ever. I think even like some of the shorter tag matches he did in the '80s were better. This is
Yeah.
horrible. And
Yeah.
and right now, Bret Hart is at his peak. I mean,
Yeah.
you literally have
What a waste of Bret Hart.
oh, dude, it's the biggest show of the year. He has proven all throughout '93 and '94 when it's time to go, he fucking delivers, and you stick him with this shit. And it's like, come on, man, what are you doing? The guy's in the prime of his life.
Absolutely. So we get Nick Totoro. He is once again looking for Pam, but this time he goes, Pam's gone. He just goes, Pam's gone. I can't find her. That's it. It's gone. She's gone. We're gonna have some celebrity changes because of that. Okay, sorry about that, Vince. It felt like the realest moment of the whole show, where he's just like, yeah, she's gone.
Well, she didn't want to do anything backstage at this show. She didn't want to talk to anyone or anything. She went between Rumble and WrestleMania. She got with Tommy Lee, and Tommy Lee was like, "Why are you doing this stupid bullshit?" And so she showed up, and Tommy Lee was like, "She's gonna do the bare minimum. We're leaving."
I don't blame her. I do not blame her.
Yeah.
If I knew, maybe if she was part of WrestleMania 20, she could act different. But part of this show, where King Kong Bundy is no selling and shit, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, listen, if she was there this year and she was accompanying Cody Rhodes, I'd be like, don't be an asshole. But I agree with her. I could, you know what? If I'm Tommy Lee, I take one look around. I'm like, it's fucking. This felt like a company slowly going out of business back then, and when you're watching this show, I would have been like, this is beneath you. This is like completely beneath you.
I bet you, like right after that match, they were like, "All right, Pam, do you want to say something, or we want to kind of do a sketch?" And she's probably like, "Why?" So that fucking Roddy Piper could come up to me and ask me if I quit.
Do I quit? That actually would have been funny. Do you quit? Yeah, I do. I do quit. Me and Tommy Lee are going back to the fucking Florida to fuck.
Oh, Todd Pettengill, he is with Diesel. And he goes, Todd asks him, hey, Diesel, like, how do you feel about Shawn Michaels? And, he's got Sid, and he goes, hey, I know this plan already. I know this. I used to be in that role. I know what's going on. And Diesel, as he's talking, he stumbles through some of his words. Diesel, some people have said Diesel was the worst WWF champion, right? And in this promo, he showed it 100%, I thought. He just stumbled through his words.
Well, they're not doing. We're gonna get into it in the match. They're not doing him any favors. I mean, he's clearly what. I didn't watch the show, but everyone told me they're trying to make him new Hulk Hogan, right? And on the surface, they are, but they're doing so much to fucking sabotage him, especially this match we're about to talk about. But he seems very nervous and unsure of himself.
Yeah, but this promo is like, this is all him. He could have just been bringing it in the promo, and he just like.
But they want him to be a certain character now. They don't want him to be the Kevin Nash that we think. Like he has to, like, Vince is, and he even says it. He wanted him to be kind of like the Goody Two Shoes babyface now. So he's not good at that. So it's something that doesn't match his strengths.
Okay. All right, so it's going to lead to our penultimate match. 6 match. Howard Finkel welcomes all the celebrities for this match. We got Jonathan Taylor Thomas as the guest timekeeper. Nicholas Totoro. He is going to be the guest ring announcer, and he's going to start doing the announcing for the WWF Championship match. Shawn Michaels comes out with Jenny McCartney and Sid Vicious. I personally always love this look, where there's a wrestler who's got a hot woman and a muscle behind him. Like, when like Dolph Ziggler had Big E and he had AJ Lee. Like, I love that.
It's a great vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great vibe. Yeah. And so they look great. That threesome looked great. That could have been a staple right there. And we got versus champion Diesel, who brings out Pamela Anderson, right? And Diesel comes in and he sends Shawn Michaels over the top rope before the bell even rings. And then he takes Pamela Anderson and he tries to bring her into the ring. Pamela Anderson almost trips as she gets to the ring and does a little pose. She doesn't fall though, but she almost does. So the match starts at a very fast pace. And then Shawn Michaels goes over the top rope to the floor and he lands on top of a camera guy. And he, I guess, got angry at this. He just gets up and he grabs the camera guy and he just drags him across the floor. And like, He was mad that he landed. There were a lot of camera guys on ringside. There were a lot. It's a little weird.
Because Lawrence Taylor. Because of Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, that's why. That makes so much sense.
This is actually, he is actually a big deal, and a lot of these football players, especially Reggie White, are big deals in the real world for the normal people. So the normal people going to want to see some type of coverage of this.
Yeah, Reggie White was a big deal, 100%. Yeah. So anyway, they wrestle some more, and they both go over the top rope, but then Shawn Michaels skins the cat, and then he gets up on the top rope and hits a top rope crossbody. Then when Diesel gets put into the post, and then the fans, believe it or not, start chanting for Sid. They do start chanting for Sid. I was like, oh, Sid's getting a chant, right? Even here. After a long beatdown process, after a long beatdown process, and there's even a sleeper spot, Diesel starts making a comeback. They fight on the floor again. Yeah, he's hulking up. They fight on the floor again, and then Earl Hebner, the referee, goes to stop Sid, but hurts his. So they're fighting on the outside. So Earl kind of jumps down from the apron to stop Sid from interfering, and he hurts his ankle off camera, jumping down. And while the referee is like distracted with his ankle, Sid exposes one of the turnbuckles, and then Diesel, unfortunately, turns the tide, and he's going to catapult Shawn Michaels into the buckle. But Shawn Michaels, the great camera shot, looks like he's getting catapulted into the exposed turnbuckle. But at the last minute, he hits the second turnbuckle. I thought that was a good camera shot. Shawn Michaels still knows how to perform here. Anyways, Diesel hits a jackknife powerbomb, and then he wins the match. After where he wins, Diesel brings both Jenny McCartney and Pamela Anderson together into the ring, and he goes, "You guys should be together in a issue of Playboy magazine." And then Nicholas Toro comes in, Jonathan Taylor Thomas comes in, and he goes, "You guys should be in Playgirl too." And they all celebrate. And then after the celebration, Todd Pettengill, he's in the back with Shawn Michaels and Sid, and they're arguing about, like, I actually won. I had won, but the referee was out. And then Sid starts yelling, "Shawn Michaels is not done with you, Diesel." This was a great promo by Sid, I thought. And the match, it wasn't bad. I actually thought it was a pretty good match. What about you? What did you think about this whole thing?
It was the best match on the show, and it wasn't a good match. And I'll tell you why. If I am the promoter,
yes,
and I see Shawn Michaels in the back, and I ask him, "Do you think he did a good job out there last night?" What would your answer be if you're Shawn Michaels? I go, "Do you think he did a good job out there
in this match?"
Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah,
I think he did a fucking horrible job, and I'll tell you why. He did not get Diesel over. He got himself over, which is great.
Yes, that's true.
That's not my goal. My goal is I have no one over, which is why I have to show Joan Rivers in my opening credits. I need this fucking guy over. You're my best guy. I need you to get him. You didn't get him over. You made him look like a fucking idiot the whole match. Kevin Nash has even said it. He gassed me up. He was basically saying to Vince, "I'm the guy, not him." And that's fine. Maybe you are the guy. But no, actually you weren't the guy, because when you were the guy, the company fucking lost even more money. And fucking WCW and the NWO were running wild. So you weren't you're not the fucking guy. Even now, I needed you to make this guy the fucking guy so you wouldn't go to WCW and run me out of business. And instead, you got yourself over. The fans are cheering for you. It's the same thing with the AEW heels. You're just getting yourself over as a face. And I like the match. The match is great. Don't get me wrong. But if I'm Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon didn't do this, he pivoted to Shawn. You did me no favors.
That's actually a very good point you're making. If you watch the match, I agree with you. This was the best match on the show, and it's actually a good match, but you're right. It's a good match because it does make Shawn Michaels look really good, right?
Yeah.
And you're right. I guess he's purposely doing that. These two guys remain friends.
They are. I mean, but Diesel was even Diesel is in the ring. He goes, "This motherfucker." They're still friends at the end, but he's like, "This motherfucker is fucking me to show Vince that he's the guy."
how are these friends? If you did that to me, I would have been like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Right? I would have been like, you know what it's
I
like?
mean,
It's like if we're on a comedy show together and I'm the headliner and you're the featured act, and you do jokes that are the same topic as my jokes
Mhm.
before me. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're like sabotaging me on purpose, right?
it's and you know what it is. Kevin, I don't think Kevin Nash was ever like the top guy. I think Kevin Nash is a great like he's like a great henchman for Hulk Hogan or a great henchman for Sean or Hunter, whoever the fuck. He's not the lead guy, but he wasn't given the right shake either in the Bret Hart match or this match to prove it. He's Bret and Sean are the two best workers, and when Bret worked Diesel's strengths, they proved this guy could go. And the King of the Ring
Yes.
'94, right?
Yeah. Brett made Diesel look good. Yes.
Yeah, and it's like we're we're two pay-per-views in, and he didn't look like a fucking idiot in '94. Both matches, he looks like a doofus. It's like, why is this big guy struggling to beat up a rocker? And it just was like it was a very selfish and it was a very like short-sighted performance from Shawn Michaels. And it's only about no, it's about me. It's about me. It's about me. And hey, listen, credit to him. Vince went with him. Guess who didn't go with him? The fans. Because they almost fucking lost everything, making Shawn Michaels the top guy.
Mm-hmm. And I got to give Kevin Nash a lot of credit because I'm surprised this guy was able to still be friends with Shawn Michaels. Like, forgive him after that. I would have been.
I couldn't. I thought it was like, and you know what? And my thing I was saying to Sean, you brought me in here. You told me to come here, and
Yeah.
now I get over and you're making me look bad. Like, dude, like I'm sure there was going to come a time where they had a rematch and Diesel, which does happen, where Diesel's going to put over Sean, right?
Yeah.
But until we get there, fucking make me look good, dude, because I look like
Yeah.
fucking shit. I'm not even in the main event. Lawrence Taylor's in the main event.
Wow. Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels. At least he's a scumbag even to his friends. He's fair. He's fair.
He's fair. He's like, I'm tough but fair, brother.
Yeah, I'm tough, but I'm fair. All right. So we're going to the main event. We got King Kong Bundy. The main event, they're kind of doing like a sports team. They're gonna call out like a starting lineup. You know, like
Dude, this is the moment where I thought fucking Ted DiBiase lost all his swag when they made him run to the ring like he's like a football player.
Yeah, so the way exactly, just like in any sports, basketball or football, when they call out the starting lineup, every time they call out a person, they got to run out, right? So we got King Kong Bundy running out like a fat slob. Then you got Tatanka. Then you got Volkov, Kama, IRS, and yes, the manager Ted DiBiase, he has to run out as well when they call out his name. Like he's a member of the team, and yeah, you're right. He just loses so much aura.
It just the you know what, and he did this a lot in 2009. Vince sometimes will make the wrestlers look like doofuses, to get over this celebrity, and this is one of those moments, and it's so short-sighted because it's like all these football players managed, and you still had these guys, and you made them all look stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and you got on the football side, you got Ken Norton, Chris Spielman, after his the racist Chris Spielman. That should be his wrestler name, the racist Spielman. Ricky Jackson, Carl Banks, Steve McMichael, and Reggie White. Before the match begins, Mongo Yep.
Oh, can I just say the only one who had any type of personality, and he looked like I forgot that someone earlier. It's very easy to see why Eric Bischoff picked Mongo for Nitro. He shows a ton of personality, more than anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, before the match begins, Mongo forearms come off the apron, and then Chris Spielman lunges after that Cigar Indian Tatanka, and then after that little mess up, Bam Bam Bigelow comes out and Salt and Pepper on our stage. And here's the thing: before Salt and Pepper, anyway, Bam Bam Bigelow comes out, Salt and Pepper's on the stage, and then Bam Bam Bigelow.
So they sing a song, they cut that out of the Peacock.
Yes, it's not at Peacock, but they actually performed their hit "What a Man," but with customized lyrics about LT and about Bam Bam Bigelow. You can actually find it online. I saw it. It's actually very good. And you're not going to see it there, but it's great. It's got lines
They're the
like,
only celebrities look like they're happy to be there.
yeah, and it's good. The song's good too. They're like, the lines are like, bam, bam, you're going to get slammed. I was like, yeah, it rhymes. I like it. Anyways, we're gonna go to match number 7. It's Bam Bam Bigelow versus LT Lawrence Taylor. Pat Patterson is gonna be the referee in this match for some reason.
Oh, because he was the. So they always did this when there was a celebrity. WrestleMania 1, the same reason. He's there to direct traffic.
I see. Okay.
Because he doesn't. They don't trust these guys alone. So
I see. All right. So they face off, and then Bam Bam Bigelow shoves LT. Then they face off again, and LT slaps Bam Bam, and he starts firing him off with shots. Sends Bammer outside, and the pros and the Money Incorporated team, they start facing off outside. Back in the ring, Bam Bam Bigelow beats on LT. And he puts on a really shitty Boston Crab. Like, it's so bad that Bam Bam Bigelow just gives up on holding it and he lets it go. And LT is still selling like he's in the Boston Crab. That was the worst part. Bam Bam Bigelow has the Boston Crab. And, Bammer's fat. So he like it's hard to keep your balance, so he just kind of like lets it go, and he just like rests, and LT's like still selling, like, oh my god, right? It's so stupid. LT he does suplex Bam Bam Bigelow, but he continues to get the beat down and just gets beat down, and he gets hit with a moonsault from Bam Bam Bigelow, which should have killed him, but then Bam Bam Bigelow is acting like he hurt his knee from the moonsault, and he's not able to go get the cover. For 3. Then Bam Bam Bigelow hits his headbutt, his flying headbutt, but only gets a 2 count. LT starts mounting an offense, and then he hits a second turnbuckle forearm strike, and he wins the match just like that. The pros, they all get in the ring, and they raise up a really tired-looking LT. LT looks spent. He looks so fucking tired.
he looks so fucking out of shape.
Yeah, Jim Ross, that shows you how fucking difficult wrestling is. Like, you got to be on constantly moving.
Can I tell you who I really appreciated after this match? Who I like? Bad Bunny. Because Lawrence Taylor was one of the best football players of his era, and he could barely do this. And Bad Bunny fucking main evented a pay-per-view, and he looked like and he's just like he was a skinny fucking singer like 10 years ago, you know?
Mm-hmm. Unless LT was selling this whole time.
I don't think he's that good of a seller.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's possible. Anyways, after this match, Jim Ross, he's trying to talk to DiBiase as they're leaving, and DiBiase's just mouthing off that Bam Bam Bigelow, saying, "You embarrassed me. How could you lose? You embarrassed me." And that is how the show ends. What did you think about this last match, brother?
I didn't think it was that good. I remember it got a lot of praise years ago. Rewatching it now, now that we have Logan Paul and everyone else, and Snoop Dogg and all these celebrities, even Shaq, Lawrence Taylor wasn't that great. Bam Bam did what he could. Bam Bam basically wrestles himself. What I really get annoyed about is that, they put Bam Bam in an impossible situation, and he pulled it off, and then they punish him for the rest of his career. They job him out the rest of the year, and then they never bring him back. When they buy WCW, his career is over, basically. And I always wondered why, because he did it. He did it. And you kind of fucking held it against him. Like, what if the match was completely awful? I almost feel like, it's like they put him in a no-win situation, and then they still punished him.
Yeah, you're right. They 100% did. That's Junior. That's why he's a piece of shit. And that's why he is. He's the one who sets us up, and then he punishes the person who's not even responsible for just doing their job, right?
You know what? What made me realize, like, I think Vince is now like gone. Like, I don't think anyone's even texting him anymore. Did you see Cody Rhodes did the press conference at Bash at Berlin because Triple H left early to go spend time with his daughter before he goes to college? Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
So Cody Rhodes led the press conference. Triple H left. He wanted to spend a few days with his daughter while she gets ready to go. She's gonna dorm in college, and that's just something that Vince would never allow. He would never allow.
100%. He would have been like losing his. He would have fired Triple. He would have been like, guess what, Triple H, you're wrestling again. You're gonna job to Otis and Tozawa.
He would have been like, she's 18, right? She can get on a fucking bus and go, I'll have a driver take her to college. Why do you need to be there? And to me, it's a little thing like that Triple H gets to go do that Vince would never allow, and that just to me is like, and also the fact that they trust Cody Rhodes enough to put him in that position where he's leading a business press conference. It's a little thing. Like I don't think about it too much, but when I did think about it, I'm like, that is something that's unthinkable to Vince. The guy, I'm gonna like Vince really no, I'm gonna bury this guy eventually because he betrayed me and started AEW. He can't be in charge of the press conference. Fuck my granddaughter. You know, right? You know what's a good idea? I'm gonna go fuck my granddaughter. I'll be right back. Like Vince would sooner if Triple H was like, I'm gonna go have sex with her. Vince would probably have let him go for that. And I would just want to help her like get settled in college.
Yeah, I'm glad Junior is gone, and I'm glad WrestleMania 11 is done for me. Ugh, brother,
dude, this is the fourth show in '95, and they're all like not good at all.
Yeah, 95, and we're talking. And by the way, if you're listening, we're talking not just about WWF. We're talking WWF and WCW. This is not a good year in wrestling, 1995. It's awful.
I'm hoping. I think Nitro really picks it up because I remember watching some episodes of Nitro that have good matches, like the early Nitros. I kind of feel like Nitro saves this year, but we're not going to be covering that. But I'm telling you, there's some Nitros, early Nitros, where their matches are really good. Pillman Liger on the first Nitro, Sting, Ric Flair in the first.
I wish we could watch. I wish we could review some of the television shows, some of that.
I really do think Nitro kind of saves. Nitro really changes a lot of things, but we're not there yet. I'll tell you where we are in your house next week. Here's the other thing I wanted to say to you, dude. Here's the other thing I forgot to mention this. We're talking about the main event. Well, the first main event. You know who fucking knew his role and did it great and was a great manager? Sid.
Yeah.
Sid. Sid never took away from Shawn and constantly just added to Shawn. And what is fucking shocking to me is that Sid is like probably like the biggest star on the show. And he's been reduced to being a manager. And he doesn't fucking half-ass it. He doesn't complain. He gives 110%. And he blows away he blows away Prince Nana. He blows away everyone. It's like, all right, if I'm going to be the manager, I'm going to be the best fucking manager you've ever seen. I thought he did a great job at Shawn's manager and on the outside.
Well, he did. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. And because we got to give him credit. Yeah, remember I talked about it. Even when he Shawn Michaels lost and they're doing a promo and he's like, he's not done with you, Diesel. Like, even promo is good. Like, Sid was good. I never actually thought Sid was bad either. And he's not like Brutus Beefcake, where I thought he was bad. Like I've always thought Sid was good, and Sid. But
the thing is, when you see a guy like Shawn being so selfish with his friend, and then you see Sid basically Sid being like, "I'm gonna stand out when I need to, but I'm not gonna take away from these guys." It's like, you know what, dude? That's fucking good. Because that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And CM Punk understood that too. You know, like I said, one of the best moments I've ever seen CM Punk do was he was the commentator during Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole, and they're on a ladder, and he puts over Cole and Jerry Lawler. He never has the moment where he's like, why am I calling this match? I'm the star. These are the announcers. He makes the announcers the focus, and that's what makes a good wrestler. What is my role? I'm going to do my role. I'm not going to take away from people. Unlike Shawn Michaels and Audrey Edwards, who take away from everyone.
Yeah, and I would say this: we're gonna see more of Sid, and I always knew Sid was a good wrestler, but when I'm doing this rewatch, what I'm learning is that how professional Sid was is the best way to say it. Like, he's professional.
Yeah. He's not. Maybe inside he's like, I should be in the main event, but he's not fucking showing it. You know?
No. He's like, he might. Yeah, you're right. He's probably thinking I should be in the main event, but you know what? I'm gonna do my role. He's a lot like Bret Hart in the sense of like whatever role you put him in, he may think he's better in that, but he is gonna work the shit out of the role you put in. You know, it's
Yeah.
he's good. Good stuff. That's it.
All right. Speaking of, so the next 4 weeks, next week, In Your House 1 with Diesel versus Sid. 2 weeks, Slamboree 95, the Mega Powers versus Vader and Flair. 3 weeks, Great American Bash 95, Savage versus Flair. And then in 4 weeks, King of the Ring 95. And in that one day, we got fucking Sid and Tatanka versus Bam Bam and Diesel. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, this is the one where Mabel wins or something like that, right?
Mabel wins. Yes, Mabel wins the King of the Ring.
I'll be honest with you, at this point in wrestling, I think I'm out of it too. Because I remember like when I was a kid, when I found out Mabel won, I was like, "What? How long have I been out of the loop? Is Mabel like a big deal now?" I remember thinking this. I was like, "Wait, the Men in the Mission guy?" I was like, and I think this is not a good point in wrestling. I'm not looking forward to anything. I'll be honest with you. How about you?
I'm looking forward to In Your House because it's less than 2 hours. I checked, it's only an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dude, I was like, this is the shortest WrestleMania, I think, ever. It's only 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I was so excited. Do you know I fell asleep twice during the fucking Shawn Diesel match, and I had to rewind it? It took me all night to watch the last two matches. It was so, like, boring. And I'm like, oh, this is great, a short WrestleMania. It was painful. It felt like 9 hours.
I mean, it is a really... I mean, like, dude, that's not a good sign. If you're telling me the thing you're looking to most forward to is In Your House because it's so short.
That's the first thing. The second thing I'm looking forward to is Great American Bash. I did hear Savage and Flair have a great match, and Dave Meltzer said at the time it did feel like Savage and Flair were saying to everyone, "We're back. Like, we are great workers. Don't sleep on us." So,
but it's pretty funny how bad 1995 is for us.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see if it gets better. As always, guys, follow us. Ray Goots. Ray Goots coming on TikTok, Ray Goots on Instagram and Twitter. Follow Andrew Sonali on Instagram, and subscribe and leave us a comment. What do you think of 1995? Because we hate it. I feel like the fact that we hate 95 and 94 so much is why people aren't watching as much. But what are we going to do? Lie? It fucking stinks.
Stinks. We're already 1 quarter in. It stinks.
Yeah. Well, listen. We'll see you next week. We're going to be in your house. Yes, you. The person who's watching this, we're going to be in your house with Kevin Nash and Sid's corpse. We'll see you then.